What up, YouTube? Cam that guy here, back once again with another YouTube video, man. So in this YouTube video, I'm doing another what if. You know what I'm saying? I said I was gonna do one next week. I ended up doing one earlier this week, but I want to get ready to do another one, right? Because I want to, absent. You know what I'm saying, for doing life storytelling. I kind of don't want to put my business out there anymore. I think I told enough life stories. You know, so I don't want to keep exposing my personal business online. You know, so I think I told enough life stories. So life stories and personal experiences has pretty much come to an end. What's replacing life stories and experiences is what if. So what if I had a license? What if I was driving? What if I had never discovered I got hacked? What if I had a job? You know what I'm saying? What if I had a girlfriend? What if I had kids? You know what I'm saying? What if I have my own place? You know what I'm saying? All that shit in between, right? This is a what if, a new thing I'm adding to the channel. You know what I'm saying? This is a new thing that's getting added. So this what if is going to replace, you know what I'm saying, the storytelling and shit. I'm just coming up with, theories, you know what I'm saying, on things of all the bad in my life. What if it was to go good? Or what if some of the good in my life was to go bad? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is and shit, you know what I mean? So we about to go ahead and get into all that, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So what if, man? What if I was to go to college? The last what if I did was what if I was to have a kid? I did it in past tense and future tense. What if I was to have a kid? That was the last what if I did. So the second what if on this channel is what if I was to go to college? What would to happen? What would I do up there? All that shit in between. So here we go, man. So if I were to go to college, let's say I went to college after graduation, which when I should have went. What if? So here's what would have happened, right? If I would have went to college after I graduated, I would have been busing there. I would have been taking a bus and I would have been walking. You know, so that's what would have been happening. Sometimes I would have caught Ubers and Lyfts. I would have been at TCC taking classes on my level. I would have took the PERT, and after I took this PERT, I would have took classes that were on my grade level. You know, so I would have took classes on my grade level. That's what I would have ended up doing. Next, so what happened was I got my class placement and shit. I would have saw some people from Lincoln at TCC. Most likely, I will at least saw a few faces from Lincoln at TCC. That's the old public school I went to, right? So what would have ended up happening? You know what I'm saying? We would have, you know what I mean, ended up talking. You know what I'm saying? We would have ended up talking, and not we would have ended up talking, but oh yeah, we would have ended up talking. Yeah, some of the people from my old classes and shit, we would have, still been cool and shit. It would have been different because, so I'm in a bigger environment. I could have had an opportunity to network better, so be around better people, a new environment and shit. Could have possibly, got a girlfriend, right? Because I feel like towards the end of the year, that's when shit got better with me pertaining to girls. I feel like towards the end of the year, girls that didn't want me before had a little bit of interest in me and shit. So I think I was probably, getting better. My personality probably just got better. I started to look a little better, all that shit in between. So I probably would have did good with getting girls and shit. All that other shit, you know what I'm saying? I would have had a haircut and shit. I cut my dreads and shit. So it would have been a different me and shit, you know what I'm saying? Would have been interesting how that, process would have went about. So I would have had my classes and shit, and my major, my major either would have been business or sports journalism, right? Let me speak on, so as far as business, I as far as business, I would say for business wise, I would like to have like there's a couple businesses I have in mind, right? First business is a clothing business. Like I really love clothes back in the day. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, like in high school, I was a dressy person. You see what I'm saying? I was like a trendsetter. You see what I'm saying? I wore that shit. I wore ripped jeans. I wore a purse and shit. I wore, jewelry and shit. I'd be like the flyest nigga on campus. You know what I'm saying? Back in high school, I liked dressing. You know what I'm saying? I like to dress. Like dressing was a thing for me back in high school. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that was something I was interested in. you know what I'm saying, coming out, I was like, you know what? I want to, you know what I'm saying, major in having a business for like fashion and shit. You know what I'm saying? Have my own like fashion business, selling clothes, making clothes, promoting and shit like that. I think I have a creative mind with clothes and shit. Like back in high school, dressing was my thing. I just I appeared very cute. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's the word you could use for it. You know what I mean? So dressing and shit was my thing. So business wise, it was gonna be on the lines of fashion. You know what I'm saying? I have my own fashion business and shit. Sports journalism, right? So for sports journalism, I was going to just do basketball because that's the only sport I know anything about, right? You know what I mean? Now I'm not the best. I don't have like a whole bunch of knowledge on basketball. I'm not saying I'm no goddamn genie. I just know everything from A to Z on basketball. But I have a good solid, no knowledge on basketball. Like I know the game of basketball. You see what I'm saying? So I would do sports journalism. I'll write about basketball game, all that other shit. I'll give an analysis on it. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ended up doing this shit. I see people on TV talk on ESPN all the time, right? I see people on ESPN, they talk all the time about basketball and shit. And sometimes they be like wrong, you know. So I'm not saying the analysts are bad, but there's some analysts that you just hear, or just good analysts. Sometimes they give a bad opinion on basketball, this, that, and that. I'm like, you know what? I can give a better analyst to this guy, or I can out debate this guy. Or they like to have a lot of debates on ESPN and shit, right? I'm like, you know what? I can out debate this guy, this, that, or third. I have knowledge on this sport of basketball, all that shit in between. This is something I can do. Like, this is something I like watching basketball growing up and shit. Honestly, I feel like I'm better now at basketball than I was back then just because I'm better at every asset. I'm more physical, more faster, stronger. I can dribble better. I think better. I'm smarter. The only thing I could do better back then was just shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I could do better back then. You know what I'm saying? Because I had weak arms and shit. So I had my formation and right. It's a formation I practiced for many years, right? Since I'm going through a body change and since I'm getting stronger and shit, I gotta adjust my shot. I gotta adjust my shot and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a tedious process to get corrected and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only doing this just for a little bit. Like I said, I ain't no basketball player. I don't plan to, indulge in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing this up until I play competitive basketball, and I'm gonna lay back. I'll be back at basketball towards the end of this month. You know what I'm saying? But after that, that gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? That gonna be it and shit. I will be back doing what I do and shit. I'm just doing this shit for content reasons and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to bring content to the channel and shit. So that's what would have ended up happening for me and shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, if I was going to cause this shit, you know what I'm saying, I would say it will be less bullying, you know what I'm saying? Niggas won't be trying to talk shit, none of that shit. Once you go to a cause and shit, niggas go about their business. Niggas go about their business and shit. Niggas ain't gonna bother you like that, you know. So they only do that in high school and shit. Once you in college and shit, niggas they go about their business and shit. So I wouldn't have to worry about no verbalness, you know what I'm saying? I probably would end up getting a girl or something like that. That's probably what ended up happening. Um, you know what I mean? This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what it would end up happening. I say I would have been a better environment for me. I would have had some cool niggas to talk to, even new niggas. I would have had new niggas to talk to and shit. Would have been talking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit would have been cool. You know what I'm saying? I would have had some girls to talk to and shit. Could have possibly got my first girlfriend. All that shit in between. You know what I'm saying? That's what could have ended up happening, right? You know what I mean? That's what could have ended up happening and shit. You know what I mean? Um, that shit would have been good. Now I want to speak on a time. I want to speak on a time I did try to enroll in college, right? So I tried to enroll in college back when I was 20 years old. Right? I want to explain how outrageous the situation is. So I tried to enroll in an online college, right? Because I said, look, I ain't got transportation to get there. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got the transportation to get there. I don't feel like walking, Uber, and none of that shit. College ain't that deep to me, and nobody had the money to even pay for my classes. Like nobody had money to even pay for my shit. Like nobody had money to even do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening, you know what I'm saying, was I would have. So I enrolled. I took the purse. I was trying to do my online classes. I couldn't even do the online classes, right? They didn't even have online classes available, right? I went up to the college, right, to try to figure out how to do these online classes. They didn't know how to show me how to do the online classes. They didn't know how to do it either, right? They didn't want me to do college. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Like they did not want me to do college at all. You see what I'm saying? They didn't want me to do college. I went up to there. They didn't want to show me how to do it. Online, I didn't know how to figure out the college shit. I didn't know how to go to the assignment, none of that shit. That shit was confusing, right? And you had to pay for the classes, right? You had to pay for classes and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm 20 years old and shit. We paid out of pocket for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, if I would have went to college, it would have been full time. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got no job and shit. It would have been full time. I would have went. I would have went to college full time. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm saying I want to speak on this time I tried to enroll and shit. How bad it went because I couldn't do it online. I can't do online college. This shit don't work. So that's what ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? But uh anyways, you know what I'm saying? That's the college situation, you know what I'm saying? That's the college situation and shit, you know what I mean? And eventually, you know what I'm saying, I would have ended up driving this shit. I would have ended up driving there and shit, all that other shit. But I don't want to talk about driving this scenario. I'm gonna talk about that in another what if video, right? But more so off, you know what I'm saying? To get back to what if I were to go to college and shit. I would say, you know what I'm saying, it would have been great for me and shit, because, you know what I'm saying, I still would have been academically smart to, you know what I'm saying, do assignments and shit. You know, 12th grade year was my best year academically, math wise, right? So, math wise and history wise, like social study wise, I would say these were one of my best years, right? English, all we did at that public school was novels and shit. We did no type of real English skills. Like my senior and junior year, we read nothing but books. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do real English. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I would have did my language year. I don't know what type of English we would have learned. But I was best at English in middle school. You know, so that's when I was best at English. And as far as what else? What else, man? As far as science, I say I was best at science 12th grade year. You know what I'm saying? Definitely best at science 12th grade year. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I would say those are the four major assignments and shit. Let me speak on the electives I would have took. So the electives I would have took is I would have took Spanish and I probably would have took art, right? I did like art, you know what I'm saying? Art was a class I was interested in, right? I like hands-on art. I don't like digital art. You know what I'm saying? So hands-on art, like I think I took, I think I took 3D art back with my junior year. I think I took 3D art. Yeah, I took 3D art my junior year. I believe. I believe I did. You know what I'm saying? Not 100% sure and shit, but I believe that's what I ended up taking. You know what I'm saying? So it was nice for me, you know what I'm saying, to go about that process of doing that and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was nice as shit, you know what I mean? 3D art was something I liked, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit in between. You know what I mean? Aside from that, you know what I'm saying? Outside of that, yeah, I probably would have took another type of form of art, you know what I'm saying? But that's an elective I was interested in. So those are the two electives I would have, because you gotta take a foreign language, right? You gotta take a foreign language when you go up to college. You are required to take a foreign language. So that's what would have ended up being for me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I would have took full time classes of all my assignments and shit. I would have been good. I would have been rolling and shit like that, and everything would have been good. You know what I'm saying? Everything would have been good and shit. And I would have been, you know what I'm saying, having a good time and shit. You know what I mean? So that's what would have ended up happening and shit like that. You know what I mean? But this is about the end of this video, you know what I'm saying? This is what if I were to go to college, what would happen and shit, you know what I'm saying? What if I was to go to college? This was what would have happened, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed this video and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video, yo.